Anyone else dislike sex? Autism, Ayiatsanti. Hey, you, Ayiatsanti. Thank you for your post at autism. Our rules can be found here. https www.reddit.com/r/autism/wiki/config/sidebar. All approved posts get this message. If you do not see your post, you can message the moderators here. https www.reddit.com/message/compose 2%2fr%2fautism. Thanks. I am a bot, and this action was performed automatically. Please contact the moderators of this subreddit. Message compose 2=r/autism if you have any questions or concerns. Auto moderator 1. Yay. I'm not asexual, but sex definitely feels like a chore sometimes. My boyfriend and I have been together 4 years. And I do enjoy sex with him, he's brilliant. But the whole experience and anticipation as a whole makes me want to avoid it until I'm actively doing it. I hate all the guesswork. Is this makeout sesh gonna lead to sex? What if I don't feel like it? How do I know? I'm tired. The TV is on, there's too much stimuli, I know there's a workout ahead of me. I'm about to expend a bunch of energy. I'd kinda rather just go do some art or cuddle. Then we're doing it and I'm like, oh hey, we should do this more often. And then about 15/20ths of a minute later I'm way too overstimulated down there and the friction makes me need to stop rather abruptly. It sucks because sometimes an orgasm in itself is sensory overload even though I'm supposed to be enjoying it. Being a person is so hard lol. Key Climate 2765. 1. If you are asexual and happy, no issues. However, you mention you used to enjoy it, but due to negative reactions, you developed anxiety about it and negative connotations. If at some point you start missing sex and physical connections, then you may want to talk to a therapist about your feelings or consider the possibility that you've just had the misfortune of having some bad experiences. But it's not necessarily always going to be that way. I'm sorry you've been made to feel this way. Moonsol 71. 1. I also hate sex. It's overwhelming for my senses and exhausting, socially and mentally. Dark Naon. 1. Definitely I like it as a concept and can find people sexually attractive, so I don't think I am asexual. But it also seems like such an annoying minefield of potential issues. Winter Demon _ 1. Accessibility needs still exist in sex. Finding sex overwhelming or overstimulating doesn't necessarily mean you don't want sex, just that it's not that accessible for you. You can make sex a more sensory-friendly experience. Latex might be an area to explore if you don't like feeling too many textures or friction. You don't have to be naked to have sex if it's more comfortable for you. Also, having a partner who you can talk to about sex and takes things at your pace, giving you more control, might make you feel more comfortable. Not everyone has to enjoy sex, but you also shouldn't be forced into celibacy just because your needs aren't being met. Advanced Fly 5632. 1. Nah, I love sex, it's baller. SID like sass. 1. I don't dislike it in the no thanks I don't want to do it, or ew that's gross and overstimulating sense. However, lately, my desire for it seems to be decreasing even more than it did previously. The last time I did the deed was nearly 2 years ago. It was fantastic, and what I needed at the time. Even my urge to masturbate or watch porn has gone down. I am almost 40. On the spectrum, and have identified as gay. I say, have identified, because they also started to wonder if I am going off men. Let's face it, the grass is not greener on this side. In the past I got very depressed about not having a partner. Or at least regular sex. But now, I seem almost content with being single. I apologize for hijacking your post. Op. If that is what I am doing. Survivor 682. 1. What is your oddest, in your opinion, autistic quirk? Autism. Techie Shefi. Hey, you, Techie Shefi. Thank you for your post at r autism. Our rules can be found here. https www.reddit.com/r/autism/wiki/config/sidebar. All approved posts get this message. If you do not see your post, you can message the moderators here. https www.reddit.com/message/compose 2=%2fr%2 Thanks. I am a bot, and this action was performed automatically. Please contact the moderators of this subreddit. Message compose to autism if you have any questions or concerns. Auto moderator 1. I always need to know what the time is. If I don't have a watch or can't see the time, I get really upset. I never lose track of time. No matter what I'm doing, I'm always checking what the time is regularly, even if I'm lost in one of my special interests. Dance in the rain. 1. Bedtime rules. I can't go to bed without showering. And no one except my cat is allowed on my bed unless they've showered. Glow in the dark unicorn. 1. My speech. Whenever I fully unmask, it trips people out a lot. Intelligent_usual 318. 1. I am basically a living compass. I can accurately tell cardinal directions within a -5-degree error at all times. Unless blindfolded or when sleeping while traveling. But I can reorient myself fairly easily. People love to test me with the compass app thingy, and I haven't been off yet. I get quite frustrated if I get confused, lost with it. Substantial Yam 3317. 1. Wouldn't say odd, but oddly extreme. If I really like a song, I'm gonna listen to it all the time. Last month I've listened to the same song 863 times, which is 7 times a day. Trash it. 1. When I watch a YouTube video about anything related to my special interests, my brain automatically connects it with something loosely connected, and I watch that video immediately after. E.g., my spin is Dalmatians. And watching one of the 101 Dalmatians clips with Jeff Daniels as Roger Dearly, I immediately look for a funny clip with him in Dumb and Dumber. Prestigious Door 146. 1. When I get out of bed in the morning, before doing anything at all, I must pace around my room and daydream for at least an hour or two before I start eating breakfast, brushing my teeth, showering, etc. Lady_Domina Trixie. 1. How do you feel about autism being trendy or used as an aesthetic? Autism. Interesting_Lake 4659. Hey, you, Interesting_Lake 4659. Thank you for your post at r autism. Our rules can be found here. https www.reddit.com/r/autism/wiki/config/sidebar. All approved posts get this message. If you do not see your post, you can message the moderators here. https www.reddit.com/message/compose 2=%2fr%2 Thanks. I am a bot, and this action was performed automatically. Please contact the moderators of this subreddit. Message compose to autism if you have any questions or concerns. Auto moderator 1. It makes me feel like people just think I am one of the fakers because I am not visibly disabled or on the lower functioning end, and it undermines the actual struggles. People will take the cute and quirky aspects they like and run with it. and then still hate on autistic people when they show the undesirable traits. Autism isn't a personality trait. It's an actual condition that causes suffering in trying to coexist in an NT world. The Flexorcist. 1. People and influencers who mention symptoms like collecting plushies, and only trivial symptoms, infuriates me. I wish influencers would talk more about the actual diagnostic criteria. Living with a dysfunctional limbic system and coping with a malfunctioning mind. Autism is in many ways more disruptive than schizophrenia. I don't get why anyone would falsely claim they have this disorder. I hate that coworkers discount my diagnosis when I disclose my autism. They respond like I just boasted that I have a cool personality trait. When I tell people that I have autism and need help, I do so without great consideration. To say I have autism is to say I'm not managing my autism well and I'm having trouble with life, and I'm frustrated that my psychiatrist hasn't perfected my pill combo of bipolar meds and antipsychotics and anxiety meds. Fit Strawberry 3796. 1. I hate it when people try to say it's not a disorder or a disability. Because if it wasn't, then no one would be diagnosed with it. When I was first taking medication, I felt sad because I was convinced that none of the other kids had to wake up at 8 a.m. just to take normal pills. I have to be medication dependent my entire life because of my autism. XA0. Agreeable Serve 8750. 1. I don't think people are making it a trend or aesthetic. I see what things people do that end up being perceived as such. But I see it more as cathartic expression and someone beginning to accept who they are. Celebrate themselves instead of hate themselves for once in their life. XA0. But that's just what I would say if someone accused me of aesthetics. Maybe there are some people who think it's trendy. But I think for most of us, we are just happy to understand ourselves and start to love ourselves. Instead of be frustrated or constantly thinking we are broken, damaged, failures, etc. XA0 inches. Refriedelsbean. 1. I think being shy and quirky are just a couple of ways of masking autism, especially in girls. Sure, there might always going to be influencers and people who might be faking for views. Personally, my autism was missed because of shyness and quirks that my family thought were normal. If that stuff is bothering, then definitely try not consuming, following it. Matrix Black Hole. 1. For this, and anything that gets under your armor, YouTube this little gem. Let them. Dr. Jamus. 1. I've yet to see any autism POV content that I thought was dubious. I've seen plenty of stuff about autism like by someone who doesn't claim to have it. And that content usually gives me the ick at best. And it's very obvious to me if an article was written by an autistic. But I've yet to see somebody refer to themselves as autistic and feel skeptical about it. Maybe it's because nobody suspected me as being autistic until I figured it out myself in my 30s. So now I am very willing to believe anyone could also be autistic. Lol. Supernova_Riker. 1. Autistic people, do you ever happy cry? Autism. Candid Cow 267. Hey, you, Candid Cow 267. Thank you for your post at r/autism. Our rules can be found here. https www.reddit.com/r/autism/wiki/config/sidebar. All approved posts get this message. If you do not see your post, you can message the moderators here. https www.reddit.com/message/compose 2=%2fr%2fautism. Thanks. I am a bot, and this action was performed automatically. Please contact the moderators of this subreddit. Message compose 2=r/autism if you have any questions or concerns. Auto moderator. 1. I've laughed, cried many times and often cry with very intense movie scenes that depict expressed affection. NorCal Francis. 1. Today while on a walk I got gendered correctly by a neighbor right after I fed her dog a doggy treat. It was so positive I felt tightness, blushing in my face, and I needed to flap my hands. It felt not very good, but I guess I was happy. Peter Mobater. 1. Yep. I cry when I think about Toho or the Shinto religion, which are my special interests. Haha, it's one of the few traits of my autism that I really like. User 4706. 1. I get blubbery sometimes when I think of my love and how lucky I am to be with them. Un Arnid familiarity. 1. I did one time I remember, and it freaked me out a little bit. I had recently quit my job that had me getting up at 3 a.m. Saturdays and Sundays. I realized that I didn't have to get up early the next day and happied myself into a sobbing mess. Our emotions can take a bit of oomph to get them rolling, but they've got a lot of heft and pick up speed faster than we can catch them. Acorn what? 1. I happy cry a lot. I get very easily overwhelmed by happiness, and crying and flapping my hands are my release for being overwhelmed. Cute cats? Sobbing. Got a gift? Sobbing. Proposals? Sobbing. Bad RNG King. 1. IDK. When I get happy I hit myself. Might be different for everyone. We like buttered toast. 1.